Hey, what is up guys? In today's video, I want to walk you through the 5 biggest myths around custom furniture or woodworking businesses. Let's dive in. All right, as always, welcome back. So excited that you're here. I'm your host, Zach Vaught, and hopefully this content is helping you on your custom furniture business or woodworking business journeys. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I want to encourage you to subscribe. The only thing that we talk about on this channel is how to grow your custom furniture or your woodworking business. This is what we're focusing on. We're not reviewing tools. I'm not giving you joinery techniques. I'm giving you business principles. And I really believe that it's hard to find this type of content online. Not a lot of people are doing this. And so this is, by the way, episode 457 of the Handmade Business Secrets podcast. And so we have talked for a long time about a lot of everything you can think of under the sun for custom furniture or woodworking businesses. So if you want to listen to this on the road or while you're in the shop working, go check out the Handmade Business Secrets podcast. Okay, so in today's video, I want to talk about the 5 biggest myths about woodworking businesses. And so there are so many myths that guys think when they're starting or they're thinking about starting and that keep them stuck, that they either never start because of these myths or they start but they never grow because of these myths. And so I want to walk you through these step by step. So number 1, and I would say this is probably the biggest myth, is that if you do great work, customers will find you. It's just not true. Some customers will find you, but you will not scale exponentially just because you're good at what you do most of the time. Now, if you get picked up by some magazine or some news article or some whatever, you might have a big burst of sales, but generally speaking, you have to have a marketing strategy that keeps you in front of your ideal target audience, your target customers over and over and over and over and over again. And that is one of the things that changed my life and changed my business and changed all my businesses, is this understanding that if I want to create sales, if I want to sign people up, if I want to sell furniture, I got to just stay in front of them again and again and again. So if you do great work and you market that work, customers will find you. That is the solution to the myth, okay? Number 2, this is a big one too, is that custom furniture is too saturated. Because right now, I know a lot of you guys are hearing that and you're like, it is saturated. There's everybody and their brother is on Facebook Marketplace and is building tables and selling them for $500. Well, here's what I want you to understand about custom furniture. You shouldn't be competing based on price. You shouldn't be even worried about those guys. You shouldn't even be in the same stratosphere as those guys. Anybody can just buy a drill, buy a miter saw, and call themselves a custom furniture maker, right? They can go buy dimensional lumber down at Lowe's or Home Depot or Menards or wherever. They can start slapping stuff together, putting some stain on it, putting some poly on it, and out the door it goes. $500, $600. Well, they're only making about $200 or $300 for every table that they build, and it probably takes them about 15 to 20 hours to do it, which is not great money. What you want to do is you want to immediately position yourself as a premium option. And the only reason that you don't do this, or that you wouldn't do this, is out of fear. Well, if I do that, nobody's going to buy. Well, they're already not buying. Okay? So why are you afraid of testing something that could change your life and position you in a completely different realm than the $500, $600 table guys on Facebook Marketplace? And this is the area, this is the arena that there aren't very many people in, because they're all afraid. So they price cheap, they build out of cheap materials, and they never know how to build a legitimate brand. What's the difference between a Walmart shoe and a Nike shoe? They got about the same amount of material in them, but one focused on brand and it's 5 times as expensive as the other one, right? So build a strong brand, get great content, get great photos, get great videos, build a website, be legit. The more legit you are, the more you're gonna be able to charge. And the more that you charge, you're not gonna have to worry about these guys that are selling $500, $600 tables, because you're not gonna be competing for the same customers. You're competing for higher end people that have more disposable income. They're all competing against each other for the same group of people, right? Which is generally the middle class. And again, as I make these statements about middle class and people with disposable income, I am not making any moral statements, by the way. I'm not saying that people that have more disposable income are better people than middle class people. I'm just saying that they have more disposable income and they can buy what you're trying to sell at premium prices, okay? I digress. Okay, number 3, third biggest myth, is that you need a huge shop and tons of expensive tools before you can start to grow. And I see guys make this mistake over and over and over and over and over again. People will hop on a call with me to check out the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, and they'll say, yeah, man, I went and took out a loan and bought $20,000 worth of tools, but I don't have any work. It's like, well, what you should have done is you should have spent the 20 grand that you took a loan out on to go get customers. And then when you get an order, use that money to go buy your tools and your materials. But people think they have to have the tools and the shop part figured out before they can ever start becoming quote unquote official inside of their business, and it's just not true. FYI, myself and almost all of my clients, we've had over 220 clients come through the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. They all started in their garage. They all started in a 1-car, 2-car garage, a little shop in the backyard. That's how they all started. And many of them have scaled and grown to commercial spaces with multiple employees, so on and so forth. But the main thing you need first is customers. I just want to if I could just grab you and beat that into your head, I would, okay? You got to have customers before you got to have tools. If you can get customers and you can get deposits on orders, you can use that money to fund the tools that you need. Now, I'm not saying don't start with any tools. Obviously, you need to start with the bare essentials, drills, saws, glue, clamps, sander, things of that nature. But you don't have to go invest your life savings in tools before you can start marketing yourself as an official, legitimate woodworking business, okay? So you don't need a huge shop. You don't need thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of tools. You just got to get started on marketing. So as I was growing my woodworking business from 2017 to 2023, I didn't really know how to do a lot of what I was trying to do. So I found these little pieces of software along the way, a little bit of QuickBooks, Pipedrive for CRM, Google Sheets was running a lot of our scheduling and planning. And I kind of duct taped these softwares together in order to run my business. And I recently came across a software that, to my surprise, does all of those things, and it's a one-stop shop for every software need that you basically are going to have inside of your woodworking or cabinetry business, and that software is Jobber. I'll be honest with you, when I first heard about Jobber years ago, I thought it was really just for like lawn care companies, HVAC companies, home service-based companies that are doing work on location. I kind of brushed it off and didn't really think that it would apply to my custom furniture business. But then recently, I've discovered all of the capabilities that Jobber has. And so let me walk you through some of these. Jobber has a full-blown CRM system. So every lead that you get, you can track where they're at in the process, from cold lead or brand new lead to a closed deal. You can create estimates inside of Jobber, send that to your client, and then convert that to an invoice, then collect the payment inside of Jobber. So it's a payment processor, and you can create invoices inside of Jobber. You can schedule deliveries inside of Jobber. You can schedule and plan production inside of Jobber. So it's a calendar that allows you to track when are you going to get jobs done, when are you going to deliver, when is the customer going to come pick up. And then another feature that's super cool is that once a project has been delivered or the customer has come and picked it up, you can automatically send a request for a Google review, right? So that you start automatically tallying up and adding up these Google reviews to help increase your reputation. So with Jobber, it's literally doing all of the work of 3, 4, 5 different softwares all in one, and it's all integrated. I want to encourage you to check out Jobber. If you are a newer custom furniture business or a newer cabinetry business, or you wanting to pivot away from all of this duct tape software to one platform that's going to do it all for you, I definitely want to encourage you to check it out. So with that, I am now officially a Jobber ambassador, and if you check out the link in the description below, you can get a free 14-day trial of Jobber, truly free. You don't have to enter any card information in to try it out for 14 days. Be sure to check out the link below. Be sure to check out Jobber. I really do think that it's an all-in-one platform that's going to allow you to scale your business without having to duct tape a bunch of stuff together, and it's going to be super helpful to you. So with that, let's get back to this episode. Number 4 is that custom furniture can't produce consistent monthly income. One of the oldest standing jokes about being a woodworker is the way to become a millionaire as a woodworker is to start as a billionaire. I do think it's a funny joke, but the reality is that it's not true. I made a very good living as a custom furniture maker without building any furniture. Like, I started building the furniture. I built furniture for the first three or 4 years, but then I started scaling my team operations. And for the last 2 years of my company, I never built anything personally. I had a team of 4 or 5 guys in the shop that were doing all the manufacturing, all the building, and it left enough over for me at the end of the month to make a good living from it, to pay for my truck payment, my fuel, my insurance, my phone bill, my internet, and still be able to transfer thousands of dollars into my bank account, my personal bank account each month. But here's the reality, is that if you never grow, it isn't going to be able to produce enough income to make it worth your while. You can't do just 1 or 2 projects a month and expect it to pay your mortgage, right? You need to grow. You need to get to 10 or 15 or 20 grand a month, because you're going to have material expenses. You're going to have marketing expenses. You're going to have other tools and things that break, and you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have to fix that. So if you're doing all the work yourself, you should be able to run about 50% profit margins inside of your business and do pretty well. But where most people go wrong is that they just don't think on a large enough scale in order for it to produce legitimate income. They think, oh, if I do a table set a month, well, then I'll be fine. It's like, well, not really. I mean, if you do a $3,000 or $4,000 table set a month, you're going to be able to net, $1,500 to $2,000, which for many of us is pretty life changing. That might pay your mortgage, that might pay your car payments or help you pay off that debt faster or whatever. But at $10,000 a month, let's say you're keeping $4,000 to $5,000 of it, that is starting to become pretty life changing. Okay, so you just got to think bigger in terms of how much am I selling and how much am I getting done. Last one here, last biggest myth is that marketing is too expensive for small woodworking businesses. It's not true. In fact, oftentimes the smaller a business is, the better returns they get on their marketing efforts. With Facebook ads, for example, when anybody joins the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, we start running ads for them and we start a pretty thorough marketing process. And we start with $500 a month. That's what we start with for what we recommend spending on ads. And our goal that first month is to turn that $500 into $5,000 in sales. That's pretty attainable. It's pretty achievable. If you think about you're selling custom furniture, how many people do I have to sell every month in order to hit my financial goals? It really isn't very many. It's pretty minimal. So if I'm trying to turn $500 in ad spend into $5,000 in revenue, and I'm selling custom dining tables, custom dining table sets, I might literally write one $5,000 order. And that might be what gets me there. I might write three, $1,850 orders for just tables, right? There's a few different ways to get there, but just about any way you cut it, you're really not going to need more than about 1 to 3, maybe 4 customers to get to that $5,000 goal. Okay, now, as you start scaling your ad spend and growing your ad spend, we're trying to maintain that 10x return. So we're trying to, if we go to 1,000, we want that 1,000 to turn into 10,000. If we go to 2,000 on ad spend, we want that 2,000 to create 20,000 in revenue. And so that's how I predictably scaled my custom furniture business. And that's how everybody that we work with inside of the Woodworking Business Accelerator program is doing the same thing. But I want to just encourage you that marketing is not too expensive as long as your marketing system is good. People think marketing is too expensive because, number one, they try to run their own ads and they have no freaking idea what they're doing and their ads suck, okay? That's one of the main reasons that people think that marketing is too expensive is because it doesn't generate results. It doesn't give them a return. Yeah, if you spend a bunch of money on something and it doesn't bring you any type of return, then it is expensive, right? But if you have a plan, a strategic plan, and you're running the right type of ads, and you have a good follow-up sequence, and you have a good sales process, and you have a good way to handle objections, and you have this holistic approach to your marketing, you're going to do way better than if you just start boosting posts, okay? Now, that's not to say that some of you guys don't have a ton of success boosting posts. I'm just saying, typically when people say that marketing is too expensive, what that means is that I've thrown $100 at this before and it didn't generate any results. Therefore, I've made a definitive decision that this doesn't work. And that's just not true. Just so you know a little bit about my story, at the height of my custom furniture business when I was doing $75,000 per month, it cost us about $400 in ad spend to get a new customer. I had to spend $400 before I got a sale. We were like, holy smokes, man, that's a lot of money. Well, it is, except for the fact that every time I got a sale, on average, it was $4,200. I'll spend $400 to make $4,200 all day, every day. But that's where people just think about how much it costs, not what it's going to generate. If you only spend $100 or you throw $20 behind a boosted post, you don't get a sale. Guess what? If I had had that same approach, I would have never sold anything. You have to commit to the process of spending money on ads, committing to developing the sales process, getting good at it, and then you'll start seeing those returns spitting out of the back end, okay? And so those are the 5 biggest myths about woodworking or custom furniture businesses. Just to recap, if you do great work and market appropriately, customers will find you. Number 2 is that custom furniture is too saturated. It's not. You're just competing with all the guys that just have a drill and a miter saw and are selling stuff for $500 and $600. You need to be competing on the high end. There's a lot fewer people up there building premium products. Number 3 is you need a huge shop and tons of expensive tools before you can grow. Not true. And in fact, if you do that before you have customers, I'm going to find you, I'm going to kick you in the head because it's a terrible approach to growth. You need to get customers first. If you have extra resources, you need to be spending money on ads, you need to be acquiring leads and getting customers, then you can start growing on the back end. Number 4, custom furniture can't produce consistent monthly income. It can if you think big enough. If you're only doing 1 project or maybe 2 projects a month, it's not going to generate any consistent income. But if you have a marketing plan, you're generating leads on a daily basis, you're shooting for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month or more, it's going to create enough consistent income for you to set you up for success. And then lastly is that marketing is too expensive for small wood shops. It's not expensive. It's only expensive when you suck at marketing and sales. And when you get better at it, it becomes much, much, much more affordable. And so hopefully this video was helpful for you. If it was, please be sure to let me know in the comments. Please be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. So with that, a couple resources. Number one is my free ebook, the Handmade Business Secrets ebook. I wrote that book for you. It's just about a 95-page book that outlines my journey of starting and scaling my custom furniture business and how you can do the same thing, okay? It's free to you. It's the first link in the description below. Enter your name, your email. I'll shoot that over to you. Number two is the Handmade Hero Academy program. If you are like brand new to this thing, you don't know what product to make, you don't know how to market, you don't know anything about business at all, that is a really low cost option that I would point you toward to help you get your feet under you, get your feet wet, and understand how you need to position your product, how to get better photos, better videos, how to test pricing, different pricing models, how to build a website. There's some great stuff inside of that program. And if you sell just one product, just one thing from what you learn there, it's going to pay for itself, okay? And then lastly is the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. For those of you that are serious, that you're ready to take this thing to the next level, ready to get to 15, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 per month and beyond, I want to encourage you to check that out. Fill out the application below. We'll hop on a call and see if it's a good fit. And so with that, love and appreciate you guys, and I will see you all in the next one.